So there was a time in my life when I went 10 years without masturbating. When I was in 3rd grade, I argued with a classmate of mine about the correct spelling of a certain word. We were studying for spelling, and he misspelled something. And I knew he had misspelled it, but he thought it was right. This was before the days where you could just press a button and instantly check something, right? After we figured that out, I asked him to misspell the word misspell, because that word was kind of tricky to spell too, right? And I told him to misspell, and I created a little jingle about it. That same year, I wrote my first ever computer program. I was using a computer program to add the numbers from 1 to 100. And the first time I ran it, I had a little bit of a bug. The computer printed out 0. I was writing this on QBasic. And I went downstairs to eat dinner with my family. And during the whole dinner time, I was really depressed because of that computer program. And my mom just thought I was crazy. She thought there was more to life than worrying about what was on a computer screen. And after dinner, I went back to the study room to figure out what's going on. And I looked more carefully. I had printed out the wrong variable. In QBasic, see, in C++ this wouldn't work, right? If you print out a variable that hasn't been initialized, it would be an error. But it works in QBasic. All your variables are initialized to 0, which is what made the bug so hard to find. And when I fixed it, I got the answer, 5050. And the reason I knew the answer is kind of interesting as well. One of the first math problems I ever got fascinated with was to add all the integers from 1 up to a certain number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, adding them together. And I learned, I think I was in 1st grade at the time, I learned that the numbers 1 added up to 100 make 5050. And I would be sitting in the car or just be bored out of my mind, and I would try adding the numbers from 1 to 100 by hand to see if I would get the right answer, right? See if I would do the whole addition without making a mistake. Now, one day my mom was driving me somewhere. I was doing this in the car, and I got to the final answer, and it wasn't 5050. I was off by a few. I was so upset at myself. I had a stack of paper about this big that I was doing this on. I was so upset at myself that I ripped the paper to shreds. I was, I think I was 6 years old at the time. And my mom was so upset because I scared her while she was driving. And she said, you're gonna get me into an accident. And she was so upset at that. She thought I had taken it way too far. I was in 2nd grade when one day my classmate and I got into a fight because we were getting our coats to go home, and he had stepped on my coat, and I was upset at him. I swung the coat at him, and my teacher was so upset when she heard all the commotion, because she told me she was just about to write a letter to my parents, because I used to be a troublemaker. She was just about to write about how I had been so focused in class today, and all of a sudden she hears me getting into a fight with a classmate over a coat. She was so disappointed. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that there was life before masturbating, and there will be life after masturbating. And I can't wait till I have another 10 years, right? I'll really celebrate when I break the record for the longest time in my lifetime that I ever masturbated, which was, I want to say, a little bit over 10 years. Thanks for watching.